This summer was rough. We had some inflation. We had some shelves that were bare in your grocery store. There was a general feeling that it was bad. But something worse is coming. I found three very interesting pieces of a puzzle, and I want to lay these out for you and give some more details so you can see what I'm seeing. This winter is going to be a disaster. Don't panic, but you should be concerned. The drought was really rough this summer, and the Mississippi River was lower than the Great Recession Dust Bowl in the 1930s, almost 100 years ago. It was so low that freight barges were getting backed up at bottlenecks and sometimes even stopped entirely at very rare but important parts of the river. The lower parts of the river mainly ship coal and petroleum products, but the upper parts ship corn, grain, soybeans, stuff like that. However, just about any type of product can be shipped down the Mississippi River. The port of South Louisiana is one of the largest ports in the United States, representing 500 million tons of shipped goods per year, according to the Port of New Orleans. The Mississippi River barge port system is significant to the national trade. Officials with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said on Thursday that normally tows are able to move 36 barges at a time, but with the water level so low, shippers have voluntarily agreed to cut that to 25 barges. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Grain Transportation Report released on Thursday said that 1,890 grain barges have unloaded in New Orleans since September 1st. That's about 39% fewer than the 5-year average. The tight barge supply is problematic for grain shippers heading into harvest, the report stated. Unless barge supply improves, the increased demand for barges from grain shippers during harvest will likely put even more upward pressure on barge rates. Just take a look at these barge rates. They have gone through the roof. To simplify this, we have less grain being shipped. Less grain, less food. Less food, prices go up, because the same number of people are now competing to buy a limited product. Ooh, this is bad. Prices are going to go way up. And prices for everything. Livestock eats grain to get through the winter. Pork, beef, even chicken prices will go up. But human food will go up also. Corn is used in damn near everything. Go through your kitchen, start reading ingredient labels for corn syrup. It's everywhere. This will affect you, and it's not good. But don't worry, if this river problem doesn't get sorted out, we can just use trucks. Oh, crap. We're almost out of diesel fuel. Do you know that we have about 20 days of diesel fuel left in the country right now? Are we going to run out of diesel? No. There's always more coming online all the time. But if we need to start using even more to compensate for the missing barges, it will be depleted even faster. So why are we so low on diesel? Well, demand is up. This time of year, farmers are using it as fast as they can to get crops harvested and shipped to market. Plus, holiday packages are starting to arrive from China, and they need to be driven to their final destination. Also, it's being used for heat as the nights start to get colder, and Biden killed all the pipelines. So we're no longer getting oil from Canada, and he pulled permits for any new drilling on federal land. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. Come on, nothing to see here. Is this a crisis? No, not now. But with supply being low, any unforeseen circumstances could throw us into a serious crisis. Remember the pipelines were shut down last year for ransom attacks? We're not in a strong position because we're so low on resources. Ooh, this is bad again. So limited barges and possible limited trucking. All right, no worries at all. We have a robust coast-to-coast railroad system. I just hope they can solve their union labor dispute soon. They're threatening to go on strike. Again. U.S. Railroad union workers reject a contract on October 10th, 2022. The U.S.'s third largest railroad union rejected a deal with employers on Monday, renewing the possibility of a strike that could cripple the economy. Both sides will return to the bargaining table before that happens. Yeah. Over half of the track maintenance workers represented by the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division who opposed the 5-year contract, which contained 24% raises and $5,000 in bonuses. Did any of you get raises that large? No? Well, they control the railroad, so if they wait a little longer, they get any goddamn raise they want. They can read the news just like I can. Do you think they are in a position to rush to the table and take any offer they give? I'm speculating it will hold them as long as they can to get much larger raises. Well, that's good and bad. The workers are going to get paid ridiculous amounts, but every product in the entire country will cost more. Does that sound like a good trade to you? Ooh, this is going to be bad. So what do you think? Is this the perfect trifecta of bad news? Don't leave yet. I've got a bonus story that just came out today. Biden, he never fails to do the worst thing at the worst time. Let's go, Brandon. Today he announced he was seeking a windfall profit tax on oil companies. Let's break this down a little bit so everyone can understand. Windfall profits. Some economists are claiming that oil companies are making something like 400% profit and they're stealing from people, blah, blah, blah. You may hate oil companies, but we need to understand what's going on here. Okay, 400% more profit than last year. Remember last year? The year that almost all companies lost money? We had something, you know the thing, that really reduced the need to drive to work, drive on vacation. People used less oil. Plus, oil companies use the downtime to do a lot of repair and maintenance, which costs money while not earning as much money. Of course their profits were down. Then they went back up. This might just be tricky accounting to get an emotional response. Even if they did make larger than normal profits, you may have noticed that everything costs more now. So even if they have more dollars in their account, they buy less than last year. Purchasing power has decreased, so they need even more money just to buy the same as last year. You see what I'm saying? I am highly doubtful they're making windfall profits. But Biden still wants to tax them even more. So the oil companies raise prices even more to cover the new business cost, or stop producing oil. And pick one, because you're forcing them to make that choice. Now, if your choice is, we can just stop using oil and you only use renewable energy, just shut up. This is not the right place for you. And by place, I mean Earth. Now, I don't want to scare you, but if you aren't paying attention, it's time to wake up. Prices are bad now, but they're going to double. Then they're going to double again. Thinking about taking out a second mortgage to cover the extra bills? Check the prices of houses lately. Down, down, down. We're in a recession, and it will almost certainly get worse. Sorry for the bad news. I can act like a talking head on TV and only tell you good news, that everything's going to be okay. Transitory inflation, strongest economy ever, stuff like that. The people that only hear that type of news are going to be blindsided when it keeps getting worse. And they didn't bother to make any changes or even prepare a little. I just can't do that to you. But if you haven't heard this anywhere else, you go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. When more interesting news pops up, I'll tell you as fast as I can. I got another video coming later, so I'll see you soon.